Thank you very much for that, Quincy. Well, you're right. I don't know how to come in off that. We were expecting a one-word answer. Okay, so...
No, I did not. Not for a second did I
Yeah,
expect an
same,
answer.
to be honest. Carrick
Knew exactly what was
had his
coming.
opportunity. Okay, Game 3, Team Flash against Luxury. We're currently tied 1-1. That tends to be the case when you're in Game 3 of a best of 3. Now,
And that is why Milky
about...
is a play-by-play caster, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait till you see my analysis as well. It's next level. But let's talk about Yoshino, because he's on this Kennen, and previously in the series we talked about how good Yoshino has been when he's on those tankier champions. Now it feels that Team Flash, and maybe Yoshino specifically, is saying that he wants to go toe-to-toe with Coated in the top lane.
It is a little bit mystifying to me, because they have really cracked down on the carry champs and really tried to put him on tanks every single game the last few weeks, and now Now, Kennen is not the same kind of carry champion as like a Tryndamere, right? It's still a team fighter, it's still a very good Yoshino champion, so it's not completely out of the ordinary. It does change team fighting quite a bit, makes it very bursty, but we do have a lethality Zarya again, so we are trying to go for like combo sort of team fighting, not really consistent damage with front lines and back lines and moving as a compact unit trying to dominate space. This is all about combos and insta-bursts. We have Lee Sin Syndra, traditionally one of the strongest 2v2 mid combinations, also later in the game, all about burst, all about positioning and trying to pick out one target. Then Lethality Zarya and Yoshino with the flank opportunities, hopefully later on the Kennen. So very different team fighting look. I'm not sure if they can perform, but we have the first clash of the junglers. Dante wins this one.
Dante wins, he lands a Sonic Wave onto Killer Queen, and he is chasing Killer Queen, who's forced to parkour over to safety under his tower. But in the early stages of the game, it's Dante who comes out with the mental advantage.
A huge advantage, not only mentally, he gets the red buff away from the enemy jungler. Now no red buff for the Talon. Talon did go Flash, didn't have to use Flash, but it was some Talons traditionally in the jungle went Ignite instead. Not the case here, so Killer Queen maybe already anticipating troubles in the early game. Killer Queen is 6-0 historically on this champion. Not a single game this year, but this is probably just the most comfortable champion, maybe in solo queue even, for him you can find. This is the most important game of the split, to reiterate. This is for all the chances at playoffs. It's not going to secure anything, but if you lose, you're out. So, this is where R5 talent comes in. We have to see Killer Queen perform better even than the last game, and the first interaction not going his way.
And I'm looking at Talon's results, Talon's performances in Season 12 across competitive regions, or currently 36 games in the jungle.
Really?
And a 52.8% win rate.
Oh, this could be a kill.
That's a lot of damage. Oh, well, no electrocute for Airless. If he had electrocute, that may have been a kill onto Blaze, but Killer Queen, is he going to get spotted out?
He was spotted by Dante's Q. If Artilan's Q, they might. No. Parkour.
He's got enough parkours. Assassin's Path, I believe, is the actual term, as Airless will scatter the weak onto Blazes. Blazes lands the Shuriken flip and picks up first blood.
What was going... Why Luxury? I mean, it's a first blood, that's nice. It's on Akali, that's amazing, especially after losing lane early on. But why did you just throw away 2 summoner spells for nothing? I am very confused. They are a little bit nervous in this game, and understandably so. They really need to win this game, but still, the exhaust and the flash, questionable.
Blazes has to walk a different way. Oh, wow.
Just walking past each other. Good roam timing from CBL, really helping his mid lane out. The flash E to get the kill, and then why did he exhaust him there? Syndra had no mana. Syndra had no mana.
Yeah, true. Okay, so do you want the actual reason of why why Luxury did that?
Please, enlighten me.
Have you ever seen the hit anime Full Metal Alchemist?
Of course. Which of the two?
Yeah.
I've seen
either
both,
of them.
Yeah.
Either of them. It doesn't matter. So nothing can be gained without giving up something of equal value. You can't just take a kill. You've got to expend something to get it. And now Killer Queen, Oh, Killer Queen and Dante duking it out in the jungle. These two have been having, well, I want to say kind of coin flippy games. We saw Dante playing very well in game 1, and now they're looking for more players. They're looking to this top side. Killer Queen cancels his back. The slicing maelstrom drops down, and Coated flashes right back into it. Now Killer Queen under the tower. Airless and Dante could look for more, but decide against it. And it's Team Flash who get the kill on the top lane, and it goes into Airless's back pocket.
The hands are shaking, and no one is actually playing well in this game, but it doesn't matter. They still have to play the game, and they have to find opportunities. Nice play from Flash. The execution is another thing. I'm not entirely sure if they should have succeeded with this gang, but it doesn't matter. They get away with the kill, and this kill goes over to the mid lane as well. So after dying, overextending in the mid lane, he gets another kill and is going to be able to put pressure on Blazes in the 1v1, which he has done so far in this game. So very nice result from Flash. Flash blown from Coated on the other side as well. Might be an opportunity for Dante if he goes to level 6 with these two camps to just re-dive him or just gank him again. Of course, there's no ultimate for Yoshino available, so maybe not the best course of action here. But I like this immediate response from Luxury, focusing on their winning bot lane. No, I don't think so. They just helped out Killer Queen.
I would have liked to have seen a red buff on the in lane. Okay, right. Wait, what is this?
Just another jungle clash.
Did Dante get that?
Yeah, he's smited it away. These two junglers are very close to killing each other all the time. Have been clashing all game so far with better results for Dante, I'd say. Coated is level 7. Be careful, Dante. You are not that tanky.
I mean, if he had level 6, he could have gone for the ward hop and get the kick. And actually, Dante got level 6 from killing the ward. So he was very, very close to having the Dragon's Rage available. But sadly for him, he was still at level 5. Now, Luxury, looking to this first break of the game, I'm going to be honest with you, Yulwe. I really wanted to see a replay of that top dive under the outer tower because I'm not sure what happened with Cody because I saw him flash, and I think he flashed back into the slicing maelstrom.
Yeah, he flashed under tower. So what he tried to do there was get as much distance as possible from Airless and Artie as well. Or Dante. Dante actually was under the tower. He wanted to get away from both of those skill shots, but it didn't work out in his favor. And also, there was Killer Queen was pretty close by. If he flashed towards Killer Queen, maybe Killer Queen could have supplied a little bit of damage too, and then put Flash in an awkward position because Yoshino had no way of chasing past the tower. So definitely agree with you that it looked funny and was probably the wrong decision. We are not going to see it again, unfortunately, but Coated, if it's just the one kill, he's probably still fine. Graves, of course, can just equalize almost every matchup. If it's not Tryndamere, then Graves is fine in lane. It's basically the rule of thumb we have to apply to this champion right now. Maybe Malphite can also do something, but Cannon is in no position to solo kill the Graves anytime soon. So top lane, without jungle intervention, I don't think anything has ever come from this lane.
Now, I'm looking at this jungle matchup again. We talked about how Killer Queen and Dante have been duking it out all series, and it's kind of been win or lose by the jungle, as the VCS tends to be. I think Luxury are in a pretty good situation. Not only because Killer Queen is on one of his best jungle champions. He went 6-0 on the Talon in the winter split, as Killer Queen won't spot out Dante there. Maybe he will now have the ultimate available. Drops it down. Dante kicks Killer Queen away. Parkour over the wall. Dante falls to Flash. Killer Queen will not aggress any further. And the reason why I think this is really good for Killer Queen is, remember what we said in Game 2. Killer Queen's been doing well on these non-gank heavy junglers. Junglers that maybe we want to farm a little bit more and that don't bait Killer Queen into playing overly aggressively.
Killer Queen has always been a really good pathing jungler, very good priorities on farm versus gank, and has been a little bit too over-aggressive in the invading department, in this split especially, just falling down over and over again, exactly the same spot where he just invaded again, when the enemy team reacts in time, but this time he was the stronger of the two junglers for the first time in this game, and this is gonna continue, because Talon against Lee Sin, if Lee Sin isn't super far ahead, if they're even in experience and gold, it's probably the Talon that is gonna come out on top. And now let's think a little bit about what this Talon is actually here to do. Is it just the comfort champ, or is there actually some purpose to this Talon in the composition? They have a very mobile and hard to catch comp with Talon and Akali. Vid is the same kind of champion on Zeri, so they are going to be hard to lock down in the late game, especially for something like a Cannon and a very obvious champion like the Syndra. So I think late game teamfights are going to be very quirky and weird, because neither of these teams have traditional champions. No Flash on the Lee Sin, he's dead.
Everything dropped down on top of Dante, and it all kicks off courtesy of a beautifully placed solar flare from CBL. Nothing Dante could do about that at all.
That is just focusing Dante down. Really nice tracking from Luxury, and once again a good roam for CBL. Already with 2 amazing roams to bail out his mid laner and find more opportunities for mid and jungle. So CBL really showing us why Leona is one of the highest priority champions in the VCS. We make fun of it, and sometimes it backfires into Lucian Army, for example, but all these support players are good on Leona, and Leona is just essentially just a very decent champion, does everything well, can catch out the enemy jungle, as it did here, and now Dante in a hole. What does he do in this game? There is no gank that's super obvious. All the enemy laners, I should say, are very hard to chase down, as I already said. There's a shield bow completed, first item for Coated. He doesn't even bother buying boots. And yeah, Dante is just in a position where he can't do anything, which is unfortunate for Lee Sin.
And when you are playing Lee Sin and you can't make those aggressive plays, it's always a little bit painful. A bit like it was painful for Yoshino getting his back cancelled twice by Coated, and now we've got the play on the top side of the map. Winter Spike will not land from Arte. This is a 3v3. We might become a 4v3 as Blazes is in the river.
Keep your eyes on the mid lane.
Way up. So is Yoshino as well. They're both coming up. Who is getting the flank on who? The Rift Herald has been dropped down. Blade Caller will find no one from Slater.
Smite is
the Eye
up.
has been here. Blazes is here. And Herald will charge in. That's a lot of tower plates going the way of Team Flash. Neither side want a fight. It's just Team Flash who want the gold and want to retreat.
Okay, so now in the meantime, 2 pushing members from the other team's side. One on bot lane, one on mid lane. Bot lane can stay a little longer, of course, because it's farther away. So Erlis might be able to... Yeah, he got 2 platings, I believe, or at least 1 for himself. So slightly advantageous play for Flash, as they also got the clean charge on the tower. Now Luxury will have the priority on the Dragon, though. So Luxury off to good Dragon Snowball potential here. Already being ahead in gold, and basically trading Rift Herald priority for Dragon priority, and being ahead in gold is great news for the side.
This might be bad. Dante's going to get there in time. No, he's not. The smite will secure it for the side of Luxury. Killer Queen on the run. He's got a blast, and that will get him out. And that's a fail flash from Slater. And Luxury, not only will they get the Drake, but they'll burn away Team Flash's ADC's flash.
We are not used to seeing Talon on the Rift anymore, but this is something Talon can do. Just cover unbelievable amount of space in no time whatsoever. He has 5 flashes basically with his parkour up all the time. Blastcon, of course, was situated in a very nice position there as well, so gets away with murder, in this case murder of the dragon. So now 2 dragons for Luxury. They are still ahead in gold as well. This game is going rather well for this team.
It's going well, but I would like to highlight the fact that it's not going how our first 2 games went, which felt far more one-sided for the respectively winning teams. This game feels a lot more measured. Sure, we've seen aggression from Dante trying to steal away camps from Killer Queen, but overall, we haven't seen either team overly forcing any plays.
Very true, and we see these kind of tendencies very often in the deciding games. This is not only the serious deciding game. One last time, I'm going to reiterate this. It is deciding for the whole split. Whoever loses here is out of players' contention. So they are playing for everything right now, and Luxury has toned it down. We've seen their aggression be overbearing for themselves most of the time the split, sometimes for the enemy team, like in some aspects of game 2, but it's a 3-kill game at 15 minutes. Are we even watching VCS? I'm not entirely sure what's going on here.
Hang on, let me flick the channel over. Oh, a 10-kill game 2 minutes in. That's what I was expecting. But, as you mentioned, only 3 kills in 15 minutes. 1 kill every 5 minutes. Towers are falling. And I really like it when we get these games, because it gives the stark contrast, I feel, from the very aggressive games, the ones where there's kind of no leash on any of the players, and the players kind of just do whatever they want. They see a fight, they take the fight. And now you've got this game which is calmer, more collected.
You can actually focus
and
on
now
such things as item breakpoints and objective timings, things that never actually cross my mind in a usual VCS cast, because we are going from replay to fight to replay of the fight to the next fight and replay of the fight. So we actually have some time to set out some expectations for the next minutes. 60 minutes in, next dragon in 2.5 minutes. I believe Luxury wants to snowball through the dragons a little bit more. They need to be careful toward their flanks, well, because Yoshino has hit level 11. And might be able to get them, but this is a nice approach on Airless. Ooh, this could be big.
Scatter the weak by some time. Now the teleport comes through. Killer Queen on the run. But with that parkour, it just means that you can make these aggressive plays and you can get away with it scot-free if it is too aggressive.
And once again, it's teleport from Yoshino. I talked about this last 2 games. Yoshino, I don't think this was actually preemptive.
That was a good teleport.
It was a good teleport for the play, but once again, is it a good teleport for the game? Because in 2 minutes, you're going to fight the dragon. You need to fight this dragon. It's soul point otherwise. And don't you want a really nice teleport flank from your cannon? That's out of the question now. The cannon needs to play face up, which is very, very, very hard to do, especially into Leona with exhaust ready as well. So what is Yoshino going to contribute to the next fight? I am not sure if he can contribute anything of value. So once again, Flash seems to be in the moment and making good decisions in the moment, but their pre-planning and looking at the next 2 minutes is really lacking something today.
Now, you talked about the fact that we can discuss item breakpoints. I want to discuss an item. Oh, that feels really cool to say on a VCS broadcast. Airless going for crown. Yay or nay?
Nay.
Nay. Ludens or Everfrost?
Whatever you need to deal more damage. Syndra already deals no damage, so Crown on Syndra just feels bad. Syndra is supposed to be the bursty champion that kills everyone. Buying a defensive or slightly more defensive item just doesn't feel right to me. Maybe it's the correct decision because he's actually under a lot of threat of being dived on by especially Blazes, but also Killer Queen. So I can see the argument, I can see the thought process, but I'm not sure if it's enough damage then in the late game. You're once again looking at Lethality Zarya, not the highest DPS. It does deal decent DPS, it's not completely useless in that aspect, but nothing compared to Zeri in the late game. And then you have a cannon who's gonna be faced by an exhaust and also all the peel from CBL. So he does have to contribute quite a bit to the damage charts of his team. But now we first have the dragon on the menu, and Team Flash is actually here first. We have teleport for Blazes ready. Does he have a good ward to teleport to?
And I think Blazes, just like Airless, completed their second item. For Airless, it was a Shadow Flame. For Blazes, I don't know. Might be looking towards the Rabadons, might be looking towards the Shadow Flame themselves. And the river is under control of Team Flash. Killer Queen trying to make their way in, but Yoshino is waiting. Can Killer Queen get to that Drake? And it is secured by Dante. Airless with the Ultra will be able to get the kill as a Slicing Maelstrom is a drop down. CBL will be able to find the kill onto Airless. CBL stuck in the brush trying to buy as much time as possible, but meanwhile in the rest of the fight it's a Luxury who just wiped Team Flash. Slater just being preoccupied by CBL. Eventually Slater will get the kill onto the Leona, but Slater is the only member standing for Flash.
But Flash still got what they came for. They got the dragon, they interrupted the snowball. Now they are under a little bit less pressure. They have a little bit more time to finish some items. They don't really have to contest the next dragon if they're in a bad position. Yes, they lose the team fight. Yes, they give a lot of gold over to the important carries and probably lose mid lane towers. So overall, still a good play for Luxury. But the concept and how they played the situation in theory was still good. I'm not sure if it's good enough to save their split, because this is the game that decides it. But Luxury was too late to the whole fight, and Blazes just spent so much time going in the... I'm not sure what he even did in mid lane. He teleported much earlier. In the end, they are just in a much stronger position here, and Flash also focused quite a bit of their resources shutting down Killer Queen. So when the fight started on the other side of the rift, or the other side of the river, I should say, there was nothing really to deal with. Blazes, Wizcoated, and Vit just diving on top of them. And now look at those 3 players, all of them looking very threatening. 2 items done for all of them. Blazes should complete his on the next recall.
Yeah, has that Hextech alternator as well. I think he completed that on his last back. Let's be careful not to get caught out by Arte and Airless. There is a Baron up. Dante lands Sonic Wave, goes in, Does he want to go for the kick? Well, he'll kick Blazes, but the kick doesn't really accomplish much.
Yeah, Dante is not having a great game. He's very useless so far because there's not much he can do on this Lee Sin. He really needs to look for some creative plays and path into the backline. I don't think Yoshino can really do this alone, the diving into the backline. He's not far enough accelerated to bring the damage to assassinate something like a Zeri. Zeri also one of the ADCs with the highest HP totals in a fight, because of course she goes for Titanic Hydra. So it's really hard for Kennen to run the show alone. I think he needs assistance from Dante. And for that, we need Dante to step up in the fights and actually get on top of Vit, one of the most important targets. So eyes on Dante in the next team fight. I'm not sure where it's going to come. 2 minutes could be a possibility if Flash wants to contest the dragon. They do have decent item timers, so they could do that. Zaya. Slader.
And there's no cleanse available for Slader. Killer Queen coming in from the side. The Featherstorm has been used, but does absolutely nothing. And Killer Queen will pick up the kill. Dante, where you going to go? Back to your fountain. As the Luxury pick up their second kill of the fight and now turn their attention towards the Baron.
Flash just once again caught snapping across the map. Two of the most important members die, ADC and Jungle, so 21 minutes on the clock, 22 minutes now. Easy Baron for Luxury, and Luxury is pushing this game to insurmountable levels. The Talon last pick is working wonders, but CBL for me is actually the star of the show in this game. So many good roams, amazing in the top lane, then actually set up his mid laner for success, got another kill on Dante, once again found the pick here on Slader, who didn't use his ultimate to dodge Leona ult, not good. But in the end, it's all CBL finding the picks on Leona. He's more known for his hook champions, for his Thresh. He was the best Thresh, one of the best Nautiluses, but really putting in the work on Leona. We flamed this pick in the last draft, but it's doing wonders.
At the end of the day, it doesn't make a difference if you pick the Leona R5 or R2. It's still going to have the same impact, and CBL playing it so well. And again, Slater just caught.
Yes, CBL was coming from a side where there was no vision for Flash, so it was rather hard to react to. Slater should still have the reaction time to actually press R on the Leona R, because the animation is long enough for that. It's not an instant one. It's not a Malphite ult out of nowhere, where you only have less than the human reaction time to actually react, so it's really just an instinct kind of thing. This one was definitely possible to do on offline ping, so a little bit of flame towards Slater maybe, who has had a very quiet game after the Lucian pop-off performance in game 1. He's not the star player Flash needs him to be. He's 1-1-1, 214 CS. It's a decent performance, but it's just not enough to carry his team.
Killer Queen just waiting on this flank angle. Team Flash is somewhat aware of it, but
Beautiful.
Blazes, he lands a Shuriken flip. Dante is already out of this fight. Solar Flare dropped down, but will not land onto anyone. Team Flash back away. Dante so incredibly low and lucky to survive the play. Does Blazes want to go in onto Yoshino? I don't think he does. Luxury will not pick up any kills, but they win the battle.
Well, I feel like the whole VCS solo lane is, or all of the VCS solo lane is, just went to an Akali camp or something. Out of nowhere, everyone can play Akali. We had the Froggy Akali pop-off. Now Blaze is putting in work. We have Coated in the last game. Everyone is just amazing at Akali now. That was so smooth. Okay, he missed one of this. Ooh, wow, what is happening here?
This time, it might be a good teleport from Yoshino. Blaze is just sitting in the shroud, tries to get out. CBL going a bit too aggressively. And there's a slicing maelstrom. It slices through Blazes, but Team Flash, they might pay for their sins. They're stuck. They have nowhere to go. Slater being run down, but Ellis is going to be able to get the kill onto Killer Queen. Dante now on top of Coated, a 3v3 on your screens, but Dante will fall. Ellis the next on the menu. Vit will burst fire him down, in Yoshino, the man who instigated the play with a teleport, is the only man left standing for Team Flash's. Luxury get 4 kills for 2, and Luxury begin the first of the marches onto the base. CBL will spot out Yoshino. Yoshino trying desperately to heal up with the fruit, but can he find the outplay? Can he beat a Leona? Bonk him down. CBL makes it an ace for Luxury.
Support supremacy! Support just winning 1v1 against the top laner, but this was almost the beginning, or more of just the beginning, probably almost the end of the game because Luxury is just dominating teamfights. There's almost nothing Flash can do. They invested the ultimate of their AoE top laner to just kill one target, and Blazes had used all his spells, so yeah, you get the kill, and in most situations just getting the top lane kill, it's an 850 gold shutdown, is great, but now you have to team fight somehow, but there's nothing you can do. There's absolutely no way they can win this team fight. It's actually closer than it initially looked because Vit is delayed for such a long time. Good job, Artie, zoning away the enemy AD carry, but it's inevitable. Too much damage, too many items on the side of Luxury. This is just a highlight, yeah.
This is Yoshino saying, you're probably wondering how I ended up here.
And look at this. I love this little mini game around the plant. Just, who gets the fruit? Who gets the fruit? We need the fruit to fight celebratory flash from CBL while he uses his emote as well. Good to see. And now we're looking at an 8k gold lead, soul point in 2 minutes. But more importantly, look at all these stats and all these items. That is an IE on my Graves in the top lane, by the way.
That's a scary Graves. That's a lot of damage from Coated. And, okay, I know we say this, or at least I say it because the rest of you guys at VCS English are experienced enough to not make this mistake, but... Okay, Killer Queen... Okay, Killer Queen is fine. But every time this happens, I start to get hope for the team that wins. I start to think, oh, this team is playing so well. Can they keep this form going? And inevitably, it will crash and burn in my face.
Luxury is the biggest offender of this, causing hope in fans, because their highs are very high. They are very coin flippy, super aggressive, not so much in this game, but we can definitely see potential in all these players. Coated has always been among the best top laners. Maybe not the best ever, but among the best, among the top 4, probably, for most of the splits. CBL has won title. Uh-oh. Okay,
I think that has to be a kill, and it's a 1-for-1. Yoshino for Blazes. Slater picking up that kill, and these 1-for-1s are good for Team Flash, but the question is, have they used too much to be able to get that kill?
In this case, I think they're going to get away with it. Can Luxury profit with at least a tower? I mean, Luxury really doesn't have to press their advantage right now. They're just patiently waiting for the next 60 seconds to tick down, because then there's an Ocean Soul, and usually I'm not the biggest fan of Ocean Soul, but in this composition, with this big of a lead, with CBL being able to just face tank absolutely everything, Coated already on double lifesteal, add an Ocean Soul on top of that, it sounds devastating to me. Blazes casually one-shots Yoshino, completely out of position, no right to get a kill there, but it is an Akali with 3 items, so yeah, she just uses one rotation and kills the enemy. No time for Dragon, it's Baron time.
Solar Flare dropped her down. Slater will burn the cleanse. In comes Blazes with the teleport, looking at Airless, and the Unleashed Power does not do anywhere near enough. Yoshino does not have that Slicing Maelstrom available. Luxury have a short window to be able to just win this fight. The Lightning Crash dropped down. They're looking towards Artie. Pop goes the ADC, and pop go Team Flash. Dante, the only member left standing, and for Luxury, it is a 4 kill.
One last duel.
And Dante has been spotted out in the brush. Dante's not even going to be able to put up much of a fight. Never mind. Dante actually doing a bit of work on this Lee Sin. Killer Queen has no ult. Killer Queen going to try to play around the Wolf, but the Wolf will drop. Dante, does he land that Sonic Wave? No. Killer Queen will be upside. It flashes over the wall while Luxury end the game, and it will be Luxury who stop Team Flash's playoff hopes and keep their own